Hey guys, Bryce Tubbs here. Today I'm going to be talking about how to grow a bookkeeping business. Now, this is a question I get asked a lot. I have a pretty large Facebook group of people who are joining just for that reason. How to grow their bookkeeping business, how to grow their accounting business. They're basically the same principle. So I want to really just dive into this and really open your eyes into what we need to be looking for in order to grow and what stops most people from growing. So if you are making these mistakes, you can avoid them yourself and just start moving forward really quickly. Now, as always, these videos are great for you going and getting some results in advance of paying me. However, if you want to go and skip the line, if you want to go and cut out all the trial and error that is involved with learning this stuff yourself, go ahead and click on the link below to book a call with me to see if I can help you out. Okay, it's one of the best calls you're going to take this year because I'm going to not only sit down with you, see exactly where you are, see where do you want to go, and then I'm going to outline the path of what is the road for success look like for you to reach your goals. Then if it makes sense, we can even work together on this long term together. So if that's you, go ahead and click on the link inside of the description below or in the comment section. I'd love to talk to you soon. Now, anyways, let's kind of get back to this thing. So how to grow your bookkeeping business. So the number one thing, guys, you have to focus on leading indicators. What a leading indicator means, it's the activity that you need to do and you need to focus on in order for you to get the results that you're looking for. Now, what happens is most people are looking for lagging indicators. A lagging indicator is like the results. For example, you want to get a client. And most people, what happens is if they're not getting clients, they're thinking everything is wrong. Versus for someone like myself and for the students I work with, we know that as long as we're doing these activities, when you get the client is kind of irrelevant. I don't know if you saw that the new what is that called? Um, Terminator movie. It was Terminator Genesis, and they were building this time machine. And then they had this really great line. It's like, so what are we trying to do? Build a time machine. When are we trying to do it? Irrelevant. Because they're building a time machine. They know that as long as they get to this result and they're putting in the work now, they can always go back in time, make sure it happens faster. So it doesn't matter. Okay, it's the same thing with our business. So number one, you need to focus on those leading and lagging indicators. Okay, so a leading indicator is how many calls are you booking? How many business owner meetings are you setting? So that means like a consultation where you're either sitting for 15 to 45 minutes and you're talking to them about how you can help them with their business. If you can go and get 100 of these, you will never have to worry about money again. Most people, what happens is they get two or three, the people don't sign up with them right away, and they get very discouraged. And I'm not saying that like don't get discouraged. It is a real thing that happens. It's just you have to learn to go and battle through that discouragement and really move forward. Now, the thing that you need to be focused on next is really thinking about putting yourself out there. So the big mistake I see people making is they're trying to put their business out there. So I was on a call yesterday with a student inside the mentorship program, and she was saying, I was trying to do some posts and like doing some posts, and I was doing this, and I was like, what are you doing? I didn't tell you to post. She said, what do you mean? I was supposed to try and get my business out there. And I said, no, that's a common misconception. It's not about putting your business out there. It's about putting yourself out there. People are not buying, XYZ fancy name bookkeeping. They're buying Susan B. Anthony, the bookkeeper or the accountant who is going to be doing the work. This is something separate, okay? And that's cool if you long term, if you have clients, you're just trying to build trust inside the community. But when you're first getting started and you need to make money, it's about putting yourself out there. I have students inside the program, like JT was at like 12 grand a month before he even started posting content on his Facebook page. He posts pretty consistently now because he's a VA that does it. When he got started, he didn't have any posts going out and he made it 12 grand a month. How is he doing that? It's because he was putting himself out there. He put himself out there so much harder than 90% of people. He put himself out there harder than I did. Like when I was looking at his LinkedIn account, like his conversations would be like, do you need some help? Do you need some help? Do you already have this in place? What are some of your challenges? Why are you ignoring me? Let's do this thing. Hey, you want to talk? Like it was just repeatedly attacking and attacking. When I first saw it, I was like, whoa, that's way too intense. He'd be messaging people every 2 weeks trying to get them on a phone call. And I'm like, well, that's way too intense. But it worked. It's because he was not afraid of what people thought about him or what he said. He did not care about if he got a no or someone blocked him or if it didn't work out or if they said don't talk to them. Like it didn't matter. That is the ultimate embodiment of growing a bookkeeping business. Like he hit 12 grand a month in under 7 months. When we first got started, he was at $300 a month. But he was at 12 grand 7 months later. And that's not clean up 12 grand, that's recurring revenue of people who are paying him $12,000 per month every single month within 7 months. Because every single day he was putting himself out there. And even then, it wasn't like every single day, because there were certain days when I'd come and he'd just be like, oh, I just didn't do it today. Or he had too many calls he was taking that week. And so he just paused, right? But it came from him going and attacking. It's not about posting. It's about literally just putting yourself out there. Now, to go back to that example of the mentorship student last night, I had to kind of realign her with the fact that, so she's been kind of sick for the past couple, like probably 3 weeks. So things are kind of hazy with her, with the stuff we've been talking about. But last week, what she did, or I think it was like a couple of days ago, she went and she messaged people on her LinkedIn from this process we use called like LinkedIn spearing. And she booked 2 calls. She only talked to probably 10 people and she booked 2 calls out of those people who wanted some help. That means you message them, we have a very direct sequence that we take people through, and then they either book a call or they don't book a call. 2 people booked a call. And then she stopped and she started trying to do the post on social media. And I'm sitting here looking like, what are you doing? She had 97 people from the process that she hasn't even talked to yet. And I'm like, you talked to 10, you got 2 calls. Please go speak to the other 97 people immediately. Like, come on, please do this for me. If you're not gonna do it for yourself, do it for me. And that's kind of her goal today, is to go and just talk to those people so she can go and book more calls. Because remember, the leading indicator of money in our business is how many consultations can we speak on. How many business owners can we actually present a price to after hearing their problems, their pains, their concerns, their hopes, and their dreams? If you can grow that and you can maximize that, you're going to go and get the clients you want. Another good example of that is Melissa. So when Melissa was starting, we use a process called referral force for her. And all that basically means is I just show you how to go and tap into influential people in your local area. And all the business owners are generally coagulating and like just converging on 1 or 2 people in your community. So if you can tap into that person and get them to not only like you, but want to send people your way, then it makes everything easier. So in the first like 2 weeks of implementing this process, she got in contact with like 5 people who were like this. One of them really liked her, and that person sent her 11 leads in 14 days. Okay. Out of those, 50% of those people closed at her target price of at least $500 a month. And she got one of them who closed at $6,000 per month. Okay. That's why it's like, but what she had to do is she had to really put herself out there and really focus on things that matter. Putting yourself out there and thinking only about the leading indicators. Now, the reason why it's important is because, yeah, she got 11 calls. She got, almost 50% of them turned into clients, but that's a little bit misleading because when she first spoke to them, the first 8 people she spoke to said, please, it's not a good time, or I don't really know, or I need to think about it. And most people would consider that a failure. She was even kind of discouraged about it. And she was like, oh man, they didn't close. My price might be too high. I know your pricing calculator told me to do this, but maybe it's just too high. And the people come back like 3 weeks to 6. In her case, it was about 3 weeks later. I'm like, okay, we're ready. It's all about the leading indicator. Most people only think, oh, I either got a client or I didn't get a client. I'm like, it's not like that. It's this time continuum of you spoke to this person here, but they weren't quite ready. But if you've been in this game long enough, you know they come back around and they're like, oh, I'm ready now. I'm ready now. I'm ready now. I'm ready now. And this time period from when it's the gap between when you speak to them and when they're almost ready. This little time peak, so my thumb is, this is where most people quit. This is where most people cause like not to grow their business, because they quit inside of fear. They never speak to those same people again. They get really discouraged, they get really rejected, and they kind of give up. Instead, you got to focus on just booking more meetings, getting better at closing those meetings. You're going to make way, way, way more sales. Now, hopefully you enjoyed this video. That's the number one thing of how to grow your bookkeeping business. Leading indicators, putting yourself out there. Okay, now, along with this, guys, like there's a lot of trial and error that's going to go with this. So even if I give you like everything, like we're talking all this different thing on the channel, there's still trial and error because you have to go in front of the people. You have to work out the kinks of your presentation. You have to practice your elevator pitch. You have to design your elevator pitch. You have to get it like, trial and error. Now, if you want to skip all that trial and error, if you value your time more than you value money, go ahead and click on the link below and book a call with me. Again, on that call, we're going to look at where you are right now, where do you want to go? And thirdly, if I think I can help, I'm going to outline what that process looks like of us working together to go and reach that goal in the shortest time period possible. So if that's you, go ahead and click the link in the description below and book a call. Now, remember, guys, as always, successful people value time more than money. People who struggle hold on to all their money, and they waste all their time. Who are you becoming? And I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.